Okay, picture this. You're on your couch, you're watching the game. The quarterback drops back to throw, but you're not just watching. You've got a bet riding on whether this one single pass gets completed. And before that ball even hits the receiver's hands, boom, you've either won or you've lost. That, right there, is the world of microbetting.
And that quote, it just nails it. We're talking about a massive shift in how sports betting works. It's not about who wins the game anymore. Not really. It's about every single play, every pitch, every free throw. Every little moment becomes its own minigame with its own stakes. So, how did we even get here to this new frontier of betting? Let's dive in and really break down what makes this so incredibly different from the way things have always been done. I mean, just look at the contrast. It is night and day. Old school betting was all about patience, right? You put your money down before the game started, and then you just had to wait it out for a few hours to see if you won. Micro betting completely flips that on its head. It's all about nonstop in-game action and instant gratification. It turns one single game into a constant stream of hundreds of tiny little bets. So, to put a fine point on it, micro betting is just wagering on the smallest possible thing that can happen inside a game. Will the next pitch be a strike? You can bet on that. Will this field goal be good? Yup, you can bet on that too. These wagers are made and they're settled literally in the blink of an eye. And that just fundamentally changes the entire rhythm of gambling on sports.
But how is this even possible? And maybe more importantly, why is it so addictive? Let's get into the nuts and bolts of the technology and the psychology that are firing up this dopamine engine. The secret sauce here? It's all tech. You've got these real-time data streams feeding directly from the games into the sportsbooks. Then you have AI algorithms that are just crunching that data, calculating and updating the odds in milliseconds. The speed is just incredible, and it creates this fire hose of betting opportunities. We're talking hundreds of them in just one game. And all that technology creates this incredibly powerful psychological loop. It's simple. You place a quick bet, you watch the moment happen live, and you get that instant feedback, win or lose. That immediate result gives you an emotional rush, a little hit. It turns a 3-hour game into a non-stop emotional roller coaster. It's a really, really potent reward system. And this is where it gets really interesting. When you break it down, you look at the speed of the outcome, the constant hits of action, the psychological effect. Microbetting starts to look a lot less like traditional sports betting and a whole lot more like a digital slot machine, one that's just cleverly disguised with your favorite team's logo. Both are built on these super fast, repetitive rewards that can make you feel like you're in control, like the next big win is just one more play away. Now, from the point of view of the betting companies, and honestly, a lot of fans, this isn't a problem at all. Actually, it's the ultimate goal. The case they're making is that this level of intense engagement is basically a fan's paradise. For the providers, make no mistake, this is a gold rush. And why wouldn't it be? Microbetting keeps users completely hooked, glued to their apps. Engagement goes through the roof, people stay on the platform longer, and of course, they end up spending more money. It totally blurs the line between passively watching a game and actively playing it. And the argument you'll hear is that this is simply the future of the fan experience. It's not just about rooting for your team anymore. It's about being a part of every single moment, making the game interactive, dynamic, and immersive on a level that just wasn't possible before. But, and this is a big but, with all this speed and immersion comes some really serious unanswered questions. You have to wonder, is this whole innovation a ticking time bomb for anyone with impulse control issues? First off, you've got the regulators. I mean, how can they possibly keep up? The rules for gambling were built for a much, much slower world. How can any agency effectively monitor an environment where bets are being placed and paid out every few seconds? And that leads to a really fundamental problem. We always hear about responsible gambling, right? That usually means taking a break, slowing down, thinking it over. But what does that concept even mean when the whole system is built for instant, non-stop action? The old safety nets? They just might not work here. And finally, we have to think about what's next. We have an entire generation whose brains have been wired by TikTok for instant gratification. It's just how things work now. So what happens when you introduce a form of gambling that's perfectly engineered to tap into that exact same need for split-second results? That's a huge societal question we have to ask. So as we start to pull all this together, there's one thing that is absolutely critical to understand. This isn't some far-off idea that we need to get ready for. The game is already changed. Let's be perfectly clear. This isn't on the horizon. It's not coming soon. It's happening right now in the games you're watching every single week. It's the present. And the entire industry is scrambling to adapt. The biggest betting platforms are building their whole business around this tech. You've even got leagues quietly tweaking their broadcast delays by tiny fractions of a second, just to make the live odds more accurate. The infrastructure is being cemented in place as we speak.
So the next time you're watching a game, just remember, for a huge and growing number of people, the final score is almost an afterthought. They're betting on the next moment, the next play, the next second. Because in this new world of sports betting, patience just isn't part of the game anymore.